A $50 million plan to design a light rail from Matthews to Belmont is now on pause for the next few weeks. Good evening, I'm Genevieve Curtis.
And I'm Scott Wickersham. The Charlotte City Council was supposed to talk about the Silver Line tonight, but that was pulled off the schedule.
Government reporter Joe Bruno learned it all comes down to funding. Joe.
Yeah, the Blue Line extension, that cost about $125 million per mile. So using that as a guideline, Silver Line could cost about $4 billion. City leaders want to know where that money is coming from. It is being called one of the most ambitious plans the city has ever pursued, creating a light rail line that connects Matthews to Uptown to the airport and then Belmont. It's a big dream, but how do you pay for it? That's one of the questions that led to a $50 million vote being pulled from the agenda Monday night.
We postponed the Silver Line discussion so that we would be sure to get all of the questions that people had so that we'd be able to be responsive.
City leaders are keeping a close eye on next week's results at the polls. If the quarter-cent sales tax increase for arts, parks, and education passes, as it stands now, this source won't be an option for a future council to consider as a way to fund the Silver Line. For that reason, Councilman Tart Bakari says it makes sense to wait.
It's almost unviable without that quarter-cent sales tax.
Katz estimates the Silver Line could be as high as $4 billion. Assuming the federal government puts up 50% and the state 25%, that would leave the city on the hook for the remaining 25%, roughly $1 billion. If the November sales tax referendum fails, leaders could try again in the future for transit, making that an option. Other options include property tax and public-private partnerships. The head of CAT says it will take the $50 million design investment from City Council before leaders have a good idea at a true cost.
I think this is one of those areas where, it's the chicken or the egg.
Charlotte City Council will vote on this $50 million plan on November 12th, and that $50 million will cover about 65% of the planning. Genevieve?
It's a lot of money to consider, Joe. Thank you.